This is a juicy, tender, and freaking delicious pork belly rotisserie roast.
A big thanks to Napoleon Grills for sponsoring this episode.
Pork belly is so forgiving. You can't really overcook pork belly. You can undercook it though, but if you are above 65 degrees Celsius core temperature, then you're always good. It's always going to be juicy and it's always going to be tasty. And today I have a recipe for you that I think you're going to like. For this recipe, you're going to need a piece of pork belly. And as you can see, I got the whole belly, which is going to make a giant feast of a roast. I'm going to stuff it up with delicious ingredients. And to make the first ingredient, I'm going to chop up some garlic. 3 cloves is going to be plenty. Just slice it up. But then a shallot. I'm going to slice it real fine so that it melts in the pan. I'm going to take my pan, drizzle a little bit of olive oil in it, warm it up. When the oil is hot, I'm going to put in the shallots, put in the garlic, add some sliced mushrooms to it. And once the mushrooms turn soft, I'm going to season it with a little bit of Texas seasoning. Now that's salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. And it's just going to boost the flavors of the mushrooms so much. I'm going to let this sit aside while I work on the rest of the ingredients. Got a pan with steaming water. I'm going to put some fresh spinach in, and this is going to get just the steam to the point where it's soft but it's still crispy. Lid on, back on the fire, and let it steam for about 5 minutes. Look at that. Nice and soft steamed spinach while still being crisp, of course. Look at that. Time to prepare the beautiful pork belly roast. And the first thing that I want to do is create a base layer of seasoning, which is going to be the gyro seasoning. And a typical gyro seasoning has a lot of flavor in it, and that's going to be perfect because there's dried oregano and all kinds of herbs that make it taste freaking delicious. Then I'm going to follow that up with the spinach. Just going to lay it out, spread it out a little bit. Then it's time to put on the delicious garlic mushrooms. And this is one of those really nice autumn dishes that you can serve up to your friends and family. Now here comes my real secret. This is ricotta cheese, ricotta crema, which basically is, well, a really good version of a cream cheese that you can spread on anything. And in this case, I'm going to use it to make this roast taste extra rich and creamy. And to give it a little bit of earthy flavor, I'm going to use some walnuts. I'm just going to put it in my hand and just squeeze it, break it up a little bit. Let's brighten things up with a little bit of lemon zest. And that's what makes this the perfect mix of the changing of the seasons, going from the summer to the autumn. A little squeeze of the lemon juice. Now this already looks freaking delicious. And if you could smell this, it will blow your mind. But we're not gonna stop here. We're gonna make this even better by rolling it up. Before that, I want to have some butcher's twine prepared. If you need to do this while you're rolling up, it's going to be too much. Got it ready. Time to roll it up. Go in with your hands. Don't be scared. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, look at that. And you can just make it easy for yourself. You don't have to use any complicated butcher's nut or slip knots, or it's just a little bit of effort that is going to make it look good. And in the end, that's going to give you the result that will make people go, ooh, that looks good. And you know, that's what we're putting all the effort in for. This roast now looks absolutely phenomenal, and I could just season it here. But it's kind of difficult because I will have all these juices and I've got this wet roast laying in front of me with all the stuffing. And if I season it right now, the seasoning is just going to be like all over the place. So I got an easier trick. So first I'm gonna fire up the Napoleon grill. I already have the rotisserie attachment installed. So all I need to do now is just stick in the rotisserie skewer, put it on the barbecue, and as you can see, it's not centered. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Secure it on both sides. I'm gonna place the tray in underneath. I'm gonna season it with PITMASTERX classic barbecue seasoning. And to have the roast rotating while seasoning it is super, super convenient. And now I'm going to close the lid and slowly let this cook. I'm going to dial in the temperature until it hits about 140 degrees Celsius, which is about 280 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I'm just going to let it slowly cook and build up flavor on the outside while it's slowly getting juicy on the inside. After about 1.5 hours, my roast is done. This thing looks absolutely freaking stunning. And it's time to take it off. Whoa. Oh man, this is one of the moments that counts in barbecue. If you want to cook delicious food on a grill and you put all the time and effort in it, and you take it off the barbecue, and the combination of the core temperature to which it's done and the color that it has on the outside, if they line up together to perfection, then you're set. 1.5 hours on the rotisserie at a temperature of 140 degrees Celsius until the core is 65 degrees Celsius. I'm going to let this rest for about 10 to 15 minutes so that all of the juices will flow back to where they need to be to make this a super tender roast. And at the same time, the meat is relaxing. We get that crust on the outside to crispen up and dampen out a little bit. And oh boy, do you know, this is gonna be good. Oh. Whoa. Man, that is so good. This is exactly what we needed. Let me get a slice out of this. Absolutely freaking amazing. Now this is what you call a roast. You can serve this to anyone and that person will be extremely happy with what you cooked. It's going to taste freaking delicious. Let's get a plate and plate this up. I like to pair this with a little bit of barbecue sauce from my good friend Jörn from Barbecue in Essen. The all-in sauce. I'm just going to drizzle on a little bit on my plate. I still have some of those nuts left. Whoa. A little more drizzle of sauce. Some more nuts. Now if that's not a delicious plate of barbecue, I don't know what is. There we go. That is so tasty. All of the ingredients just come together. The spinach, the walnuts, the cheese, it just brings the whole dish to life. And then you got the twist of barbecue on the outside. That is what makes it really exciting. You might want to give this a try. Or you come by and just help me finish this because I still have plenty.